People Live. Live. My co-host is Bay Weinberg.
Hi, everybody.
Mm.
And Heather, do you want to let everybody know who we're interviewing today?
I'm interviewing Ron as a guest.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Our guest. Welcome, Ron Tassello. We are so lucky. Ron is one of our executive board members of Integrate for Good. He is a retired CFO with a wealth of experience. And now he's sharing his talent with us as an executive board member, as our treasurer, as the head of our finance committee, and so much more. So Heather, I'm so excited we get to share Ron with our audience today.
Me too. I can't wait.
And just to let everybody know.
Invitation.
Yes, little disclaimer. We are here live at Ursinus College, one of our Monday volunteer sites, and students are back on campus. They're sanding the floors with really loud equipment, and we don't have a room here yet. Our fall schedule starts soon, so we are in the cafeteria. So you might see some Ursinus friends or hear some Ursinus friends behind me, but we love our Opening Doors on Campus program. So there's a little background noise. It's because Ursinus College is back open for business for the fall semester. We're so excited to be part of it. So let's get to know Ron. Heather, what's your first question today?
What is your background for treasurer?
Yeah, what's his background to be treasurer of our organization? Good question.
I was in accounting, public and private, for 40 years, and I handled a lot of treasury issues, money and how to handle transactions. So it's kind of a natural fit for somebody who's been in accounting and finance to be a treasurer. So it's a fit, I guess. Works well.
What do you use, degree or a master's degree for the treasurer?
I'm sorry?
What kind of degree do you have to get to become an accountant?
Oh,
yeah.
Well, to get an accounting degree, you have to go to college, and I have a bachelor's degree from at the time, well-known accounting school in Westchester County in New York called Pace University. And usually people who go into accounting want to become certified public accountants or CPAs. And to do that, you have to have an accounting degree, and then you have to have 2 years of experience working in the field of public accounting. So you work on auditing other firms, private or public firms. So I got my 2 years experience and became a CPA, which is one of those nice things to have. But once you have it, not too many people ask to see my CPA license, anymore. But like a lot of professions, I assume, OT as well. There's requirements every year to stay up to date and, yes, continuing professional education. So I don't know. I'm a CPA. That's nice, I guess.
What does a CPA mean for you?
A CPA is a certified public accountant, and they're licensed in every state. I happen to have my license in New York. That's where I was born and raised and educated. But most states have what they call reciprocity. If you're a CPA in one state, you can just apply, and there's not too many strings to become a CPA in other states.
What does it mean for CPA?
Well, it means that you've gone through the college requirements, you've gone through the job requirements to have at least 2 years in public accounting, and you have to take an exam. Now, when I took it, it was 4 parts. There's a couple on accounting, there's one on business law, and I forgot what the 4 parts are. But you have to, most people, myself included, they take a review course, and you have to study very, very hard. Not too many people pass all 4 parts at once. I was fortunate in that I passed 3 parts, and then the second time I took it, I passed the 4th part. So I had to wait for my 2 years experience before I got my CPA license. But on a personal note, after going through all that work and all that studying for the CPA exam, I said, I'm done. I don't want to take any more college courses. I think my education, I've reached the max. So when someone says to me now at this point, would you like to take this 40-hour course on, I say, you know, I'm not really sure I feel like studying anymore. I'm pretty much, that ship has sailed, I'm done. But it's nice to have Heather, and for a while earlier in your career, including mine, you make a little extra money because you're a CPA, and being a CPA, it also makes your qualifications superior to people that don't have it. So you know, you have the door open for you for more opportunities.
Wow, thank you. What is your board, what do you do for a board member for English for Good and manager?
Well, let me back up a second. The nicest thing about being a board member on Integrate for Good, and people who know me know my second career is helping nonprofits. And really one of the first footsteps in that career was meeting Bev, who just amazed me with her personality, her drive, and her motivation, and how she wants to help people. And that really gave me the motivation to want to help people and help people that are helping people like Bev and like yourself. So, I mean, that was good stuff. So that really, I guess, motivated me to want to join a board like Integrate for Good. And most of what I do is utilizing my accounting and my financial expertise. So I help on the finance committee. I help look over the financials. I look over the money with Bev. You know, always got to make sure we have enough. And, you know, having money in business is the same thing as having money in your personal life. You can never have enough. You know, you always want more. You always need more. But I guess I lend my accounting and finance background. I lend those skills and meet with the other, you know, the other board members, finance committee, and we review those, review the financials every month. And it's great to be on the board because Bev has accumulated some great people, both on the board, advisors, employees. And so it's, you know, it's really an honor to be in an organization where there are just so many great people that are doing such, you know, such great things.
I know, Heather, one of the things I also forgot to mention specifically Ron helps with is he chairs our governance committee.
What is the government? What is your government coming for the board? Government, English for Good.
Yeah,
that governance?
The governance committee is so important, Ron, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, governance, very simply, is one of the missions is we're charged with compliance to make sure that what we're doing follows the bylaws and the charter of the organization, that we're following the rules that we're supposed to be following, which would include IRS rules, because there are a lot of rules that govern nonprofits and how you can solicit money and what money you can solicit, and accounting rules we need to follow. So the governance committee also helps with things like board recruitment. I modestly say, since I'm on it, but it's an important committee. It's got a lot of responsibility. It's usually the first committee that, when nonprofits are formed, my experience is the three basic ones are fundraising, because everybody needs funds, governance, and finance are usually the first three, or among the first three that are formed. And at Integrate for Good, I get to help 2 out of those 3. So I'm honored.
2 big ones. And yeah, people, Heather, it's so important when people people donated money to support your show, right? Because they trust you and they trust what we do. And they know that if they make a donation, when people make a donation to any organization, they want to know that you're going to use their money for what you said you were going to use it for.
Yeah, what's the money do you put in Integrate for Good?
Yeah, we use our money for all different things, Ron, right?
Oh, yes. But
paying staff is one. That's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, and running our programs like the Great Empowerment Lab, which is phenomenal. So the people on the board and the governance committee in particular need to have an understanding of what our mission is. And part of what the governance committee is supposed to do is make sure we're spending funds in accordance with our mission. That we're not sending Bev on vacation in Key West or, something outrageous like that.
Would be Heather, I'll bring you if I get to go. That sounds fun.
Very good idea, Bev.
But yeah, like Heather,
Yes.
you know, like people trust you, they know you and they can count on you. They know that you are going to deliver what you say you're going to deliver.
Yeah.
And that's how you get people to support you and to support the organization because they trust us. And that's a really, really important thing Ron helps us with, because we say, you know what, these are the rules we follow and you can count on us to be what's called transparent. So like you think you can see through a window. We want them to see into our organization and see exactly what we do. Where are we every day? Are we doing programs that have to do with inclusion and empowerment? And are we using our donations in a way that we're proud of and other people can be proud of?
Right.
What kind of teaching do you do?
Say that one more time, Heather. Sorry, it's noisy where I am. Say that.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do but donation come from? Donation.
Oh, like when donations come in, like how do we process the donation?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any mystery there. A lot of the donations are made through website platforms, so the money comes to Integrate for Good electronically, using platforms like credit cards, bank debits, PayPal, and that automatically goes into our bank, and then I download the bank transactions and I do my little magic, and out comes a balance sheet and a statement of activity at the end of the month. But Bev and I go through the donations very carefully, the individual, corporate, if we were fortunate enough to receive any other organizations. So we look them over. We send thank you notes, which is very, very important. And some organizations only send thank you notes to bigger donors or donors over a certain threshold. But we send it to everyone, and that's a nice thing, because someone may only be able to afford a $10 donation, but to them that's as important as somebody else who donates $100 or $200. So I think it's very nice to send thank yous to everyone, because anyone that makes a donation, it's meaningful to them and it's gratefully received by us.
And we had a whole bunch of people that donated. Nobody could donate $1,000 to Hanging with Heather, or a big number. But remember, Heather, when you did your Facebook fundraiser, which is another way that we bring in some money, there were a lot of people that gave what they could. And because of the power of a lot of people giving something, we were able to double your show and extend to another day. So when we say every dollar matters, this is a perfect example of it. We could double your show and double the time that you're, working with us, because everybody gave what they could. And it adds up, because it's the power of people coming together to say, you know what, we all care about this work.
Yes, we do.
Yes, and that's where governance comes in, because people want to be confident that we're spending the money the way that we're supposed to be spending the money. Which is very important, and very knowledgeable donors. There are some websites that rate the donations based on information that they see, and whether we have things like a governance committee, and whether we're filing our financials and tax returns timely. So it's important to have a good rating. It shows good governance and a good organization, well-run organization.
Wow.
Thank you. Being in accounting, I don't hear wow very often, Heather, so thank you.
I wonder, Heather, here's a question, if you don't mind me asking. I wonder, because Ron's so amazing with numbers, I wonder if he always liked math all through school. Did he always know he wanted to work with math and numbers?
No, that's
math or a number in math when you do
No, but that's a good point. I tell people, especially by the time I got started in accounting, going way back, everything was done manually, all the ledgers, and people had to add them up using adding machines. But by the time I joined the world of accounting, a lot of that information you could summarize on a computer. So I really didn't have to add columns of numbers like my predecessors did. I happen to have some natural abilities with math that I can add and subtract numbers. Now, I mean, not like big numbers like Sheldon Cooper can do, but numbers. I can do that in my in my head. But I tell people you don't need to be a mathematician to be good at accounting anymore, because the computers do all of the grunt work for you. What I would try to add is the analysis. It's the understanding of the numbers and what's important and where the trends are, and try to point out yellow flags and red flags. If you have a good accountant, that's really where the value added is. I mean, anybody could tell you, you know, the contributions were X dollars, but putting that in a trend and talking about what's good and what's bad and where we can get more or how we can get more is, you know, is where a good accountant can help. And I could say Bev is like ahead of the curve on doing so many things in terms of fundraising and some tools that, you know, can be used. So I'm very, you know, very pleased that we're looking at every avenue.
We
What
do
do
our
you
best, right?
do? What do you do for a board member? And great for good.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he does, governance and finance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a volunteer role. I wonder what Ron does when he's not volunteering with us.
What do
What
you
kind of
do when not-
hobbies he has now that he's retired from work.
Wow.
What do you do? What do you do? What do you do with your family if you retire?
Oh, well, I live down the Jersey Shore, so I'm about a 5-minute bike ride away from the beach, and I'm also very close to the bay. So, I mean, I'm not a beach person. I can't sit at a beach for 8 hours a day, you know, every day, but I do go. It's very enjoyable. I have to say, I've been on the boardwalk 1,000 times. I love the boardwalk. You go on the beach and it still impresses the heck out of me when you look at the magnificence of the ocean and the waves. I mean, it just puts things in perspective, and you see some little kids by the water, and you know, when the ocean water is only 60 degrees, they stick that first toe in and they, you know, they back out. So you know, I love music. I'm a classic rock guy. I'm just waiting for me to be called on Jeopardy in that classic rock category. I think I could do, you know, really well on that one. I also enjoy reading a lot. My wife and I do a lot of things here in Ocean City. I volunteer on some other activities. We just saw a couple concerts here. We saw a girl named Tom, who were the winners of The Voice last year. And we saw the Happy Together tour. We love 60s music, and it was the Turtles and the Cowsills and the Vogues, all these 60s artists. I have two magnificent millennial daughters. One lives in New York City, the other lives in Tampa, Florida. So they're not exactly close to me, but you know, thank goodness for video tools like Zoom and FaceTime. So we talk to them almost every night, which is really nice.
Wow. What do you do if you're coming back from you?
So I always love this question Heather asked. So are you asking, just so I make sure I know your question, Heather,
What do you get coming back from you?
like how does when Ron volunteers, like what does he feel the community gives back to him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's, you know, that's a good question. Just being associated with Bev and the rest of the board and the other people who were employed, it's so special to see the people and their work they're doing. So the little things I do, I get it back, you know, 10 times over. Just to be dealing with special people who are doing special things, it's rewarding to me. It's nice that I feel in a very, very small way I'm helping such a great mission like Integrate for Good. So it's, Heather, I guess I would describe it as a warm, fuzzy feeling, just being associated with Integrate for Good. You know, it's just knowing that you're helping, and I say it, you know, in such a small way, but it's a nice thing. It's a good feeling. When I worked in the for-profit world, there were things I was proud of, and I guess things I patted myself on the back because no bosses would. But you know, here it's not the same feeling. You know, helping people that are helping people, and having people like them say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." That's really nice. So that's kind of what gets me up in the morning now.
Wow. That's amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
And I am so sorry about the background noise. I try to put myself on mute when I can. We are doing some major renovations like right next to me here at Ursinus. They're getting ready for all the students to come. So I'm so sorry about the loud noises. I might have to mute so you don't hear it. But Integrate for Good, by the way, people might not know this fun fact, Heather. Integrate for Good does not have a building.
No.
No, we do not have what we call brick and mortar, meaning we don't have a building. Everything we do is out somewhere else in the community.
Yeah.
Sometimes we might have people walk by, we might hear noises, we might, all different fun, unexpected things happen, even when we're live on Facebook. And we just love to be flexible around that and be out in the community where people of all abilities belong. So we love that people appreciate that about us, that because we use other people's spaces, sometimes we don't know what's going to be going on there on any given day. So it keeps things very exciting. Like today.
That's a nice way of putting it. Yes, things are very exciting.
As my head is pounding from this floor sander right now. No, but we're thrilled that, Ursinus is an amazing place. We're so thrilled to be here. Actually, Heather was a big part of our Kindness Rocks dedication here. We were just visiting the Kindness Rocks garden, putting some new rocks in there for our incoming freshmen. And we're excited to be here at Ursinus again this Saturday, because what's cool about Ursinus College, they're really committed to service, to community service. And on Saturday, freshmen will be, I think, moving in on Thursday this week. And one of the great things they do is they have their freshmen volunteer, and volunteering with us is one of their choices this Saturday. Wow. Heather, I am going to put myself on mute because I think you can hear that, I'm guessing.
We could. You're either in the dentist's office or you're at a construction site. One of the other.
Thank God that drill's not in my mouth and it's on the wall. Oh my gosh, we're going to laugh about that. So, Heather, can you wrap us up today? We're going to thank Ron for taking the time, not only today, but all for Integrate for Good. And Heather, anything you want to share with our audience as we wrap up?
Monday at 12 to 12:30, Friday at 10 o'clock to 10:30. Be outside. We're going to in, be deep. Go back in, wash your hands, and be safe.
Thank you to
Be
strong. Yes.
Thank you both for having me.
To our amazing host, Heather, as always, and Ron Tassello for his board service, for everything he provides to our organization and our mission. And we hope everybody has a wonderful week.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.